Good morning. I'm John Willey, and I'm a one-man company called Northeast Light. I build furniture, domestic and office, and small boats. Most of what I know about boat building with hands-on experience comes from a winter I spent working for Paul Luke of East Booth Bay, Maine. And it was one of the richest experiences that I've had in my life. This is about the Greenland Inuit paddle. The elder friend who introduced me to kayaks for pleasure himself used a paddle with round fiberglass shafts and fairly broad blades of, I think, a fiber and molded plastic. He loaned me his spare rotomolded kayak, and I set off into a world I'd never seen, with another version of his own paddle. This felt, in my hands at least, splashy and awkward, for no reason I could then understand. I asked him if he had a paddle of a different shape. He did. A set of blades made years back by Klepper of wood. He still owned the bones of his Klepper folding kayak. Its hull had long since worn out, but he kept the bones in his barn. The blades were broad and flat, yes, but its wooden shaft felt right in the hand. We explored Pigeon Hill Bay, down East Maine, and I began to wonder at the difference in feel between our wood and plastic propulsion and reading. This led me finally to bark canoes and skin boats of North America, and Chapel was familiar from my long ago reading at a school now called Goodwill Hinckley. I found, as a young boy still there, I found a copy in their library of Adney Chapel, but I didn't know what I was actually reading. This is a real piece of American history. The book now is often called Adney Chapel. While Chapel wrote the book, he gave full and generous credit to Adney's broad research into the history and building of the North American native canoe. The book was a revelation, and experiment a greater revelation. As reinvented by its modern makers, the paddle used to drive most plastic and composite kayaks in the 20th and 21st centuries has a round cross-section elongate shaft, controlling at each end a skinny blade molded in sweeping curves, that is, very flat and very broad skinny blade, molded in sweeping curves, found most often in window fans you can buy at your local grocery outlet, and sometimes in seagoing propellers. This production ignores at least 7,000 years of evolving hand-carved wood water beaters that brought hunters home safe and sound time and again over millennia. Our ancestors may not have known the word efficiency, but they definitely recognized what worked and what kept them and their families fed. I found and read John Heath's early studies well before I tried making a kayak paddle. You can find John in the back pages of Adney Chapel with a compact description of Inuit and Inupiat paddles, most of which, in the historical record, were hand-carved by the hunter himself, following patterns cut by his ancestors and modified over thousands of years from driftwood. They had no nearby source of fir or spruce or pine growth that they could cut a paddle from. Not without a very seriously long trip inland. Sawmill and lumberyard did not exist in the high Arctic. One had to deal with flotsam and jetsam. Thanks to the whalers, there was a good deal of both, plus what timber whalers traded for Inuit, Inupiat, and Siberian snow dwellers ivory, stone, and bone carvings, which are very beautiful. You can find them now on the web occasionally, and they're also very pricey because they're very rare to this day. Finally, in the years of our concern, whalers, not notably concerned with local residents apart from collecting artifacts, the native peoples invented, that is, the whalers also presented supplies of wood and modern, that is, modern steel and iron handworking tools. The native peoples invented what they used from the material world around them. How practical. And without help from what we see as our civilized world, they invented watercraft of brush, sticks, and skin that kept their families alive over thousands of years. We know this now from archaeology done on native dwelling and trading sites dating back more than 7,000 years. Let's get started.